I Never Believed I Could Be a Pilot by Madeline Genovese. Since I was a little girl, my eyes have always been towards the sky, wondering what it's like to be up there. Cruising through the clouds with passengers aboard. How does that large piece of metal stay afloat? I dreamed it was a magical thing that few could ever understand. As I dashed around the yard, I would look up and watch the little white trails that airplanes leave as they go by. I wondered why planes leave a little cloud as they go by. The thought of flight always got my attention. Never did I believe I would be a pilot. I remember going on a trip in an airplane for the first time, 8 years old and slightly scared of the unknown. As we boarded the plane, I peeked around into the cockpit to find millions of buttons. How could someone know what all those buttons do? The pilot caught my eye and asked my brother and I if we wanted to check it out. He let us sit in the cockpit. The pilot said to me, "You're going to be flying this plane someday, I can tell." And for a moment, I pretended I was the captain of the plane. I would push the buttons that make the plane fly, and I would cruise past the clouds, flying from one side of the country to the other. It was time to go back to our seats so the plane could get ready to take off. We went back to our seats. I sat by the window, staring intently outside to see what was going on. We landed at our vacation destination, and I could not wait till we had to go home so we could fly again. I still never believed I would be a pilot. Years went on with my eyes still always towards the sky. I joined the military, where I would spend many hours in airports and early mornings on flights to various places of training. My eyes glued to the outside of plane windows as we gained altitude past the clouds to see the rising sun. As I walked through the airports, I would see pilots pacing along to catch their next flight. I always wondered what that life would be like. Still, a pilot's life seemed out of reach for me. I spent a lot of time deciding what I would do with the rest of my life. I racked my mind day in and night, trying to find something I was passionate about. Will I be a soldier for the rest of my working days? A police officer? A businesswoman? It struck me as I caught a flight home from a few weeks of training. One more airplane and I will be home. But I realized I wanted to call the sky home. I wanted to be at the front of the airplane, not in first class with a pillow and a comfy seat, but with a headset in the pilot's seat. Then I believed I could be a pilot. I ventured from home to flight school. I studied for weeks to understand how it works. In a few short months, I took controls for the first time. I took off from the runway and cruised all the way up over the shore. I looked down from 3,000 feet in the air, the blue waters under me and the white clouds above. I thought back to the day when I boarded an airplane for the first time. I remembered the airline pilot who told me I will fly someday. He saw the passion in me that I did not see in myself. I finally realized I am a pilot.